How was the historical fiction genre born, and who, if anyone, could be called its father? The late 18th and early 19th centuries were a period of great change in Europe, an era marked by social, political, and cultural transformations that would define Western civilization for years to come. In France, political revolution had overturned the old order, and the Industrial Revolution's technologies were reshaping European ways of life. The Romantic movement remained influential, celebrating passion, imagination, and the individual. Artists, writers, and musicians found inspiration in nature, emotion, and the mystery of the human soul. They sought to shrug off the constraints of classical forms and traditions, embracing more personal, expressive styles. Captivated by the sublime, they believed art sprang from the artist's inner world to explore the deep human experiences. Yet at the same time, a focus on realism was emerging. And as the world around them changed, writers began turning their attention elsewhere, primarily to the realities of survival in a fast-changing society, the struggles and triumphs of the common man, moving away from the grandiose themes and overly vivid characters of Romanticism. Realist writers instead portrayed the complexities of real life. This shift from Romanticism to realism produced a stimulating tension in the literary world. At one end, the romantic ideal of the artist as visionary, invoking beauty and feeling. At the other end, the realist dedication to truth and accuracy, to portraying the world as it really was. Such polarities gave rise to a rich, diverse body of work as writers grappled with new challenges and possibilities. It was at this crossroads that the works of Sir Walter Scott, a master storyteller, swashbuckled onto the scene. Both a poet and a prolific novelist, Scott's historical tales fused the best elements of Romanticism and realism. With a deep love for history and a keen eye for detail, he crafted rich, engaging stories which transported readers to other times and places. Scott successfully integrated the excitement of Romanticism with the feasible nature of realism. His novels featured dramatic events and larger-than-life characters, but were firmly rooted in realities of the past. He meticulously researched the historical context of each story, bringing to life the people, places, and events of bygone eras. Scott's characters were not only heroes and villains, but complex individuals with their own hopes, fears, and motivations. His stories interpreted great historical events, examining the universal human experiences that lay behind them. He showed that history wasn't just a mash of dates and battles, but involved real people, passions, and struggles. Scott's novels brought famous events to life in a way that was both entertaining and enlightening, turning the past from a distant abstract concept into a living, engaging reality. This unique approach gave birth to a brand new genre, which would later be defined as historical fiction. Scott's success inspired countless other writers to explore the possibilities of this new form, blending the real with imagination to create captivating yet true-to-life tales. Today, historical fiction is ubiquitous, a diverse and beloved genre. Its torchbearers a testimony to the enduring power of Scott's groundbreaking vision. Born in Edinburgh, Scotland in 1771, Sir Walter Scott grew up in a city rich with history and culture. The cobblestone streets and ancient buildings of Edinburgh were a constant source of inspiration for him. Sir Walter Scott lived a life as rich and varied as his novels. From a young age, he was captivated by the stories and legends of his homeland, which would later become the foundation of his literary works. He was a lawyer, a poet, a historian, and of course a novelist. His career in law provided him with a deep understanding of human nature and society, which he skillfully wove into his writing. He was fascinated by history, particularly the history of Scotland, and he dedicated much of his life to preserving and sharing it. His passion for Scottish history is evident in his detailed and vivid descriptions of historical events and settings. Scott spent years collecting ballads, songs, and stories from his country's past. He believed that these cultural treasures were essential to understanding the spirit and identity of Scotland. His efforts helped revive interest in Scottish folklore and traditions, and he remains one of the most revered of all Scots. In personal life, Sir Walter knew both joy and sorrow. He experienced the happiness of a loving family and the pride of literary success. But he also battled and wrote his way through financial crisis and bereavement. He achieved virtually universal acclaim and was deeply admired by his contemporaries. His works were celebrated not only in Scotland but also across Europe and America, earning him a place among the greatest writers of his age. He even had the honor of meeting King George IV, a testament to his fame. This meeting was a significant moment in Scott's life, reflecting the high regard in which he was held by both the public and the monarchy. When in peril of financial ruin following a banking and publishing industry collapse, he refused gifts from rich fans, including even the king, instead working tirelessly to repay his debts with resilience and determination. Through the worst of times, he remained a prolific writer, producing an impressive body of work that includes novels, poems, and historical writings, his dedication to his craft never wavering, even in the face of adversity. Published in 1820, Ivanhoe is perhaps Scott's most famous novel. Set in 12th century England, it tells the story of Wilfred of Ivanhoe, a noble Saxon knight who returns from the Crusades to find his country hijacked by the Normans. Ivanhoe is a classic tale of chivalry, loyalty, and love. It features a cast of unforgettable characters, including courageous, honorable Ivanhoe, the beautiful and spirited Saxon lady Rowena, the enigmatic and powerful Jewish moneylender Isaac of York, his tenacious daughter Rebecca, a gifted healer, and even a cameo by the inimitable Robin Hood, who appears as the outlaw Locksley. With its thrilling action, courtly romance, and vivid historical setting, Ivanhoe is a masterpiece of historical fiction. But Sir Walter is also remembered for a work inspired by a Scottish folk hero. Published in 1817, Rob Roy takes readers to the Scottish Highlands during the Jacobite Rising of 1715. The novel follows the adventures of Frank Osbaldistone, a young Englishman who gets caught up in the intrigue and danger of the rebellion. Rob Roy McGregor, a real historical figure, plays a central role in the story. He's a complex character, being a cattle thief, a Jacobite rebel, and a Highland hero. The novel is a thrilling blend of adventure, romance, and political intrigue set against the backdrop of Scotland's wild beauty and turbulent history. What inspired Sir Walter Scott to write these enduring novels? What were the forces that drove his creativity and imagination? The answer lies in his deep love for history, his fascination with Scottish culture, and his keen observation of human nature. Scott's passion for the past was a profound obsession that colored every aspect of his life and work. A fanatical student, he spent countless hours in libraries poring over ancient texts and historical records. His study was a treasure trove of old books and documents. He devoured historical accounts, collected antique manuscripts, and listened eagerly to tales passed down for generations. Scott was particularly drawn to periods of conflict and change, where he saw the dramatic potential for compelling stories. The clash of armies, the rise and fall of empires, the struggles of ordinary people caught in the tides of history. He also recognized the power of setting. Scott understood that the backdrop of a story could be as important as the characters themselves. He knew that well-drawn scenes could transport readers, immersing them in the sights, sounds, and smells of another age. The rugged beauty of the Scottish Highlands, the bustling streets of medieval towns, the quiet corners of ancient libraries, these were the worlds he created with his pen, inviting readers to step into them and experience the past in vivid detail. Scott's own life was a tapestry of experiences that enriched his writing. His home, Abbotsford House, was a reflection of his eclectic tastes and interests, filled with artifacts and curiosities from different periods of history. His interactions with friends and family, his travels across Scotland, and his deep connections to the land and its people all contributed to the authenticity and depth of his stories. In his handwritten manuscripts, one can see the meticulous care he took in crafting his narratives, the attention to detail that brought his characters and settings to life. Today, Scott's novels continue to captivate readers around the world, a testament to the enduring power of his storytelling and the timeless appeal of the worlds he created. One could pun that a knight writing about knights could hardly fail. In his own time, Sir Walter Scott's novels were a huge success. Readers were deeply engaged by his thrilling plots, vivid characters, and immersive historical settings. Critics praised his ability to bring the past to life, plus his skill in blending historical fact with fictional narratives. Scott's novels functioned as more than just entertainment. They sparked a renewed interest in history and helped to shape popular perceptions of the past. His works were translated into numerous languages and enjoyed a wide readership across Europe and America. Time has done little to diminish this great author's radiance. Sir Walter Scott's impact on literature is immeasurable. He is considered the father of historical fiction, and his novels continue to be enjoyed by readers of all ages today. A pantheon of famous authors acknowledged his influence, from Bronte, Shelley, Pushkin, Austen, Dumas, Hugo, Tolstoy, and Hardy, through to today's George R.R. Martin. Scott's novels have also had a profound impact on popular culture. They have inspired countless adaptations, including films, television shows, operas, and even video games. His characters and stories have become part of our collective imagination, shaping the way we view history and storytelling. The visual intensity of Scott's action writing was quickly recognized by creatives working in other mediums. Ivanhoe and Rob Roy have been adapted for the screen numerous times, with each generation putting its own spin on these classic tales. From lavish Hollywood productions to more intimate television adaptations, the stories continue to resonate with audiences. These reimaginings introduce Scott's work to new generations, keeping his stories alive, ensuring a contemporary fan base. They confirm the timeless appeal of his themes like courage, loyalty, love, and the struggle for justice. So what were the greatest gifts his work gave readers and later viewers of his stories? Sir Walter Scott's novels are more than just classics. They continue to offer us glimpses of our ancestors, bringing bygone times to life in all their complexity and grandeur. His tales are also windows on different cultures, challenging our perspectives, reminding us of the diverse face of the human spirit. Scott's chivalric epics inspire us to be brave, to fight for what we believe in, and to never give up on our dreams. And like all historical fiction, they can teach our past's lessons and codes of honor to generations yet unborn.
Sir Walter Scott revived our fascination with heroes for whom honor was all, and you can investigate the earliest portrayals of warriors and their codes back in our episode 2.